Clearly are deep in thought about what they want to draft here and which role it'll be in. Keen has previously been the Sion top lane player. Wait for the final second.
Oh,
and it will be a Kassadin, so they do get a counter pick. They're able to bring out the Kassadin, a favorite of Faker in the spring season here, an old favorite of Kuro. It's going to be an element of risk to this pick. They are against Varus, a strong laner, and the Taliyah also will shove in, but post 6, a lot of good news stories for the Kassadin against the Taliyahs. Are we getting real spicy?
Ooh, maybe we are. The Fiora hover coming through here for Linderong in that top lane.
The hover's over, it's a lock now. It's going to be Fiora into Sion. Sion, the tankiest of the potato tanks. It's going to take a long time for the Fiora to actually work her way through all the shields, and he can ult away if she's not already closed the distance. But Linderong's Fiora is what we see. He's had a lot of value on the carry picks earlier in the season, but with the Camille gone, goes the way of the Fiora. Going to be fun to watch.
Certainly is. And it's going to be a really big struggle, you would expect, for Keen to actually land that ulti into the stun with a riposte available for that Fiora. Maybe try to bait that one out and then get the lockdown.
I'm a bit worried for the Fiora here, because if she falls behind, she's going to have to deal with mixed damages. Kassadin can side lane very powerfully. The Sion will be unkillable. It's weird because the earlier drafts from ROX are very much about the team fight, and then they kind of abandoned that and said, let's go for this matchup to try and punish the Sion. Punishing the Sion is really, really tricky to do, so ROX do index on a top lane pick that sometimes requires more resources than it can pay off. Cool to see Linderong on a true carry, though. Every time we see this, we smile and say, give it your best shot.
Yep, Fiora coming through, and then the Kassadin as well in the mid lane for Kuro. Going back to an older one, so interesting to see how this one's going to play out. Goes into the Taliyah. Lava has been playing that one extremely well. Very clean, I guess, is the best way I can describe it. With his Taliyah play, with those Weaver's Walls, denying objectives away from the enemy teams. We'll see if he can do that here with a Kassadin who can just hop over to the other side.
Yeah, bot lane gets ahead, the Taliyah can get rolling, an objective game can happen. If it doesn't, could be tricky for ROX.
Well, Tucson yet again going to be looking to take sole possession of that first place MVP spot. We'll see if he can Drake take. Down to half HP. Do they want to contest this? The roam's coming through here from Kuro. Tucson now pushing in, gets the grand entrance, looks to pop up 2 of them, and they have to go ahead and peel back. Dragon's still going to be leashed, but now they turn in looking for the Kazakhs. He is going to get popped. Actually, no, manages to make it out with his life, and it's going to be first blood going over to aiming as he takes down Songwon. Dragon will leash back into the pit, and several members of Afrika are down to half HP, so they will kite their way out of here. They might have prevented that Infernal Drake from going down.
There's on a sliver. I'm not even sure Mowgli can actually take these Krugs.
Get out of there, man!
He's already used his smite. If he dies during the replay, that'll be awkward. It's a very nice engage from Tucson. Oh, this was the moment. It felt like the pivotal moment in the game because Afrika aren't quite online. ROX don't have their 1 items either, but you think if this is where ROX Tigers get that extra gold to zoom forward, perhaps that's actually going to hold down. Start going all in here.
Here comes the charge, riposte there onto the stomach. Kuro comes around from the side. Linderong going to flash away. Stunk down to about half HP, and they're going to go in underneath the turret for this one. Jumps in, the Kazakhs is there. They finish him off with the burst damage, and Kuro will be walking away with his life.
You never expect the 14-minute turret dive by a Kassadin taking turret aggro. They see who's teleporting mid. First it's going to be Sion.
Seismic shove comes through. Grand entrance out there from Tucson. They're going to go ahead and dodge out on the Sedge ult. Keen nearly falls, as does Tucson. The tongue lash flash forward there from Key. Does finish him off in the end as aiming goes up with the Featherstorm, but a bit of a misfire there. Shoots it to the side and will not be able to clear out the wave. It's going to be the first brick going over to the ROX Tigers. They win out in the end. Mowgli by himself, not able to finish it off in time.
Trying to play too many lanes at once as Afrika. They really didn't want to give up first pick. They do anyway. The chase power, the damage is not there yet from Kuro.
Seismic shove is just too much of a threat. In the meantime, Keith trying to take away that Skull Crab. Will be able to do so, but the double pop-up comes in. Weaver's Wall comes through, but it's not enough to lock them away, and they might just be able to finish off the Tom Catch. Big knock-up comes in as Tucson nearly goes down. Connection there from the Sedge ult onto Mowgli. Takes him down to about half HP, but he makes it out with his life. Tom Kench will get picked, but now Linderong, he's got some quality voyage coming in straight in on top of Tucson and aiming. Instant pop-up, but Tucson still might be paying for this one with his life. The Featherstorm is good this time around. Triple lockdown. Won't be leading to any kills, but it sure as hell looked cool. But they lose out on Tucson, and aiming loses both of his summoner spells.
He has to use double summoners even though Songwon didn't have ultimate. That's a big investment to make the escape, but does keep him alive. ROX are playing when they're strongest. We asked them to really focus on making assertive moves now, and they're doing that. That was a very multi-pronged attack. A teleport into...
Kuro roaming back over, Abyssal Voyage coming in. Rift Herald will be taken and picked up here by the Afrika Freaks, and now Linderong has to get out of there. Gets popped up, gets piled on. The Repose comes in. Big seismic shove knocks two in, and Mowgli has to flash away. Kuro manages to get the kill on the Fiora, and now Tucson arrives. Grand entrance, plus the quickness comes through, locks them all up, and Kuro finds a second one. Let's make it a triple kill. 20 minutes into the game, the Baron just spawned, and a Freak say, hey, you know what, this is right here. Maybe we should just take it.
And it's so important for Kuro, because now he gets to cheat over his slower build and gets 1,000 gold out of nowhere to turn into big items, and they're going to get a Baron start. As if they can get a Baron claim, as Songwon is still alive.
Vision going to be denied. Control ward comes over, as does that Chain of Corruption. Songyun clearing out the Vision on the opposite side of the pit. Afrika will try to deny. 3,000 HP left. Songwon, does he want to go for it, or will he abandon the cause is going to be the question. 2,000 piercing arrow is
Songyun needs to damage it over the wall. Now they don't have vision.
1,500, it's going to get taken. Smite comes through. Songwon, yeah, just too risky. Didn't want to have to sacrifice himself for it. Baron taken right as it spawns by the Afrika Freaks, who turn it all around right off this play initiated by the ROX Tigers.
And you thought that perhaps be the moment for Afrika to go too far into the things, but ROX start to fight. And when the shove comes through, you first thought is, this is going to be the fight for them. But as you're watching the fight, huge engage from Tucson. He gets all three. Comically massive is the amount of momentum they get from Tucson's chain CC. And while he didn't have the damage, he had the... Fiora into Sion. Not a huge fan of Kilios. Sion is just so robust that it's hard to make things happen.
Yeah, pretty much. But, well, that's going to be the engage coming through here from Tucson. He wants to make something happen. Someone will go ahead and flash away, but Kuro is just chasing it so deep, and they will be able to finish him off as everybody just flashes over into the red pit. Lava as well taken down as Aiming finds a double kill. And I think Afrika Freaks, in addition to that, will find themselves a Baron again.
They're going to fall back to it. No smite available for Songwon. Jump into the pit. They take the second Baron. Banner close to completion. Looking to break the base on this second Baron, and predictably Linderong. Nothing the poor Fiora can do.
Not a damn thing indeed. He's at least gotten a CS lead, but that's about as good as it gets. The BF Sword not going to be doing very much against that Sion. He's got the Warmogs and the Thornmail, the Frozen Heart, just for good measure. Afrika Freaks with a second Baron here, under 30 minutes. They could be pushing all the way in, looking for inhibitors at this point.
Forward. They won't have the banner with this push, but the next wave they will have banner up again. I think longer banner cooldown is something to be considered. Even after the change that comes on 8.5, they push in, they want it, it's dive!
Going in, but he's not going to find the pop-up, but he does have the quickness, and they lock down Songyun, immediately deleted from the fight. Now Linderong has to go ahead and flash away, barely any HP left, but the Guardian Angel's still available, but he does not want to take the fight. That he would lose and needs to try to stick around to keep himself alive, but is still locked in. He jumps away with the ultimate, manages to stay in here for at least a little bit longer. We'll even finish off the turret, but they do sacrifice Keen at the end of the day. He'll get a couple hits in onto the inhibitor, but won't be able to take it down as they lock him up. The third one now exposed, the other two still dead. ROX hold out a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's one able to fight his 5. Kuro very early on the zone use because he realized there's no ability for aiming to follow. So they ran out of damage in the front line. They get the inhibitor turret, and that was the more tricky objective to actually claim in all of this. Gank Brush, their first thought. They realized that with the top lane pushing as well, the Gank Brush would be them watching as the game ended with the win units.
Well, Shelly's looking pretty big.
Being escorted.
Chain of Corruption comes down, double pop-up goes through. Songyun gets chunked down to half HP. Big root in on a Songwon. The Devour comes through at the last second there by Kitty. Helped keep him alive, but Kuro is sticking right on top of him like glue and finishes him off. Flash away from Linderong. Will be able to hold on for the Guardian Angel here for the moment, but 3 inhibitors going to be going down inside the base of the ROX Tigers.
And Shelly's still going.
Shelly is still firing away, working it down those Nexus turrets. And I don't think there's anything that ROX can do. 37.5 minutes on the clock. Linderong will get popped out of the Guardian Angel. Weaver's Wall in desperate times here by Lava to try to save them off, but it's just not going to happen. The Nexus will go down as Afrika Freaks claim game number 1.
Really clean from the Afrika Freaks, and now after the loss to MVP, ROX Tigers are staring down a potential 0-4 week. Such a big patch change. Feels like a change in the game. And for the side of ROX, they seem underprepared on the first day, and then here a bit muddy. They